What up, everybody? Look, don't be fooled by the low lighting here in the car. Just wrapped up some training sessions for the night. I opened up my phone. 10 different people are asking me about my Instagram story, eating steak tacos, drinking tequila, drinking Modelo's and shit. And I'm calling it a fat loss diet because I'm not playing, guys. If you have your structure in place, you could get away with eating things that aren't necessarily diet foods, have a couple drinks, do the whole 9 yards. But you got to have structure behind it. Otherwise, you're just a fat fuck. So hear me out. I'm going to drop this game on you really quick, off the cuff, right here, right now. Let's get into it. Guys, today we're talking about how I do my version of flexible dieting, intermittent fasting, whatever you want to call it. Basically being able to eat almost whatever you want as long as it fits within a couple of key ground rules that we're going to talk about today. You could implement these yourself and watch how easy staying lean, dieting, being flexible, never missing a party, never missing an event or a dinner with your girlfriend or whatever it might be. And no one even really has to know you're doing it because it's more so just going to be a structure that you naturally seem to do. But really, it all has a rhyme or reason behind it. So I kind of like to think of it like this is the type of diet that turns you into that one person we all know and hate who can stay lean and just seems to eat whatever the fuck they want. Here's what they're doing without even realizing they're doing it. So the first thing, you have to set your macros, right? So if you know your macros, it's already almost impossible for you to fuck it up unless you just intentionally go over them, right? Or give into a craving. The bottom line is this. For one thing, I think most people are overdoing it with protein. And also, it's just a bunch of calories that you could have had otherwise in carbs or fats to ensure that you are enhancing performance from carbohydrates and hitting your minimum fat requirement in fats to support hormone health and everything of that nature. So 0.75 grams of protein per pound of your goal body weight. Let's say you're aiming for 180 pounds. You're not going to need nearly 180, right? I'm shooting for like 135. And then carbs and fats can kind of flip-flop a little bit, but they're going to make up the remainder of your calories. Your calorie goal should essentially be on most days 600 less than your estimated maintenance calories. So if you think your maintenance is 2,800, you should be eating 2,200 calories per day. And that should be granting you a little over a pound of fat loss per week, if that's the goal. And then you could simply taper this for faster fat loss, bigger deficit, maintenance, eat at maintenance, obviously. So really it depends on the goal. You could just adjust these calories, right? Now, number two, the other rule, look at your calories, look at your steps, your energy expenditure over the course of a week, not day by day, right? So imagine you eat 200 over one day, 200 under the next. Does not matter. I don't give a shit. I don't care if I do that. I don't care if my clients do that. As long as I can pull up the last 7 days and everything checks out as far as activity level and calorie level, you are going to be in the deficit you need to be in to produce the amount of fat loss that you want. So we got macros covered. What does the daily structure look like, right? I'll give you mine. Do with it what you will. The macros are all going to be the same, but you could do this with whatever combination of foods that you prefer. But here's what I do for the most part, right? I'm going to wake up. If I'm not training that day, I'm going to fast for the first roughly 5 hours of the day. Once that 5 hours of the day is up, I'm usually getting a little bit hungry, right? By now, all I've really had is black coffee, and I'm just kind of getting to work, doing whatever I'm doing that day. First meal of the day, I'm probably going to be doing a yogurt bowl with collagen protein. It's a big chocolate yogurt bowl. Can't go wrong with that for like 300 calories. Maybe I'll have a little treat with it, a little carb with it. That could be literally anything. But it's typically going to be a carb that's only going to run me another couple hundred calories. Putting that meal at 500 to 600 calories out of my usually 2,300-ish total. So a small percentage of calories, decent hit of protein, probably 50 to 60 depending on the bowl. That means I'm almost halfway to my protein target, nowhere near halfway through my calories, with plenty of room left in the bank for that flexibility that I keep talking about. This is where things get interesting. It's really up to you at this point how you want to break up the rest of the day. Let's use a date night as an example. You're going out with your spouse. You've got maybe 1,500 calories in the bank by this point. You're going out to a steakhouse. Literally, you've set yourself up so perfectly that you can go get a nice big steak, probably keep it on the leaner side, get it with some sort of side, potatoes, even a little bit of pasta you probably have room for. And if you're not sure, just plug this shit into ChatGPT. Literally pull out your phone and say, hey, chat, fucking address chat like that. Say, hey, I had blah, 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 blah. A lean cut of steak, roughly 10 to 12 ounces. Most menus tell you how many ounces it was, right? With a side of a baked potato and asparagus. Roughly how many calories do you think this is? What's the macros? Boom, done. I could do voice to text. I could do that before I go in solitude. So nobody saw me do it. Nobody heard you do it. Nobody's judging you. Nobody gives a fuck. You just went there and ordered. It seemed effortless, right? So you could go in, do that. Nobody knows. You know that your macros are fucking dialed, but you're not that weirdo dude that's bringing his Tupperware to the dinner, tracking his calories at the table, bringing a scale with him. None of that shit, because that shit's whack. So you don't have to do any of that. You've now had a delicious chocolate yogurt bowl for breakfast, a beautiful steak, baked potato, asparagus, and best part, have a couple drinks. I ain't gonna stop you. Have a couple drinks. Now you've had probably, let's say, a decent cut of steak. Let's call it 800 calories. Baked potato, another few hundred with butter on it, 400, whatever. That's 1,200 plus a couple drinks, 1,500, 600 calories earlier that morning. You're still chilling, dude. That's the thing. It's like that simple, right? Fast, small meal. The rest of that big meal later is probably going to take care of my protein. I have room for drinks if I want it. If I don't, I could either be a little more flexible with my food, or my deficit will just be larger. My calories will be lower. Even better, right? And the beauty of all of this, it's a pretty large deficit. And the worst case, if you're aiming for a 600 calorie deficit, the worst case is that you end up at maintenance. You overshot by 600 and you're eating at maintenance that day. You're not going to gain anything. You're just not going to lose as fast. So the bottom line is that's it. And then maybe some days I'll have a late snack if dinner was a little earlier and I have room for it. So it goes like this one more time. Fast early through the day. When that 5-hour-ish mark hits, you could do a little sooner, a little later, whatever. Have your first meal. Small percentage of my daily calories. Large percentage of my protein. That leaves me primed and ready for a higher carb and fat, heavy in calories, dinner time feast, or whatever you want to call it. And potentially even a little bit of dessert or a little treat after that. That's pretty much all there is to it. Other than that, I'm having black coffee in the first hours of the day, and of course throughout the day, tons of it. But that bridges me to that first meal. I'll hit it. It's a satiating meal, pretty high in protein and all that good stuff. And then I go, chill out a little longer and wait it out till dinner time. And then you get to eat dinner so freely that you don't even feel like you're dieting. So future me interrupting this video really quickly to tell you that could be a slippery slope though, right? So of course you could eat very freely. That's the whole point of this plan. That's why it works so well for me and my clients. However, you have to roughly know how many calories you're eating, and you have to treat it with respect. It doesn't mean that you could fast through the morning and then just kill 4,000 calories at dinner. That'll defeat the purpose. Anyway, back to the video. You don't really have to track all that much with something like this. Once you have your structure, I know every day that yogurt bowl is only a few hundred and I got plenty for later. And then you kind of just eyeball it. Once you get really good at tracking your macros, you kind of know. And you don't have to sit there tracking every day or talking to ChatGPT or typing in MyFitnessPal. You don't need to do all that because you already know where you're at. So that's the beauty of it, really. And at that point, there's nothing left to explain. I'm going to keep this video short today. If you can track your macros, understand your protein target, backfill the rest from carbs and fats, you've solved the problem. You know your calorie target, you know your protein target, your macros, whatever. You follow that plan. You're not very hungry because you're fasted and you're feeling good. Then you hit a small satiating meal there, ride it out till dinner, big feast. You're satisfied, flexible, enjoying foods you love, steak, pasta, drinks, whatever, maybe a little bit of dessert. And most days you're going to nail that calorie target. And any days that you go over, consider it a refeed. Do not try to overcorrect the following day. Just continue as is. And this plan is bulletproof. There's no going wrong with this. I'm putting you guys on free game. You could literally just use this. Don't watch anything else. Don't do anything else. If you can't keep track of your calories, your steps, and dial in that fast, then there's not even sense of looking at anything else or any more advanced plans or supplements and this and that. You need to have something like this dialed in. There has to be structure. There has to be systems. There has to be some kind of routine, or you're just throwing shit at the wall to see if it sticks, and that's not going to last you very long. That's why you bounce from one diet to the other, and you're looking for something that works. This is the answer for you because it's going to give you the flexibility that you've always wanted, the same restriction that was stopping you from dieting, this flexibility will keep you dieting forever, but it won't feel at all like you're dieting. You'll get to reap the benefits of staying lean and never feel like you're dieting. Every day, people ask me, how the hell are you eating that? I thought you said you're trying to lose weight. But here I am on a little bit of a mini diet here, down about 10 pounds in just a couple of weeks, which was extreme. But I did it to prove a point. I'm eating tacos, drinking Modelo's, fucking doing whatever, and I'm dropping body weight. So I'm going to cut it there, guys. I want this to be a short, easy to digest, no pun intended, video for you guys where you could learn exactly how I do my fast, count my calories, track my macros, stay lean with the ultimate flexibility, right? So you get to enjoy the best of both worlds. I'm never going to tell you to skip out on a dinner party, not have the drink, not have the dessert if you want to, but you have to have structure, a rhyme or reason behind it so that you can reap the benefits, stay lean while staying flexible. That is the beauty of what we do over here. If you want to hear more about how you could diet with flexibility, get lean, run far, lift heavy, whatever it might be, you're going to want to make sure that you subscribe, drop a like down below, and leave a comment if there's any other issues that you're running into that you'd like to learn more about. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time.